One of the tricky things about QSBS is that the guidance section 1202 gives on what types of businesses qualify to issue QSBS is all stated in the negative. What I mean is that instead of telling you all of the types of businesses and business activities that are good to go for QSBS purposes, they instead provide a list of excluded businesses and trade categories. This means that instead of skimming through the list, seeing consumer SaaS and saying, hey, that's us, we're good to go, you have to do a bit more discerning on what fits and doesn't fit the rules. I'll read through the list of excluded categories. Section 1202 says that businesses performing services in the fields of health, law, engineering, architecture, accounting, actuarial science, performing arts, consulting, athletics, financial services, brokerage services, or any trade or business where the principal asset of such trade or business is the reputation or skill of one or more of its employees, like content creators or YouTube channels, any banking, insurance, financing, leasing, investing, or similar businesses, any farming business, and any business operating a hotel, motel, restaurant, or similar. This is a really long list, and the tricky part here is that the language paints what seems like a really broad brush. The list doesn't mean that any business that serves the healthcare space, for instance, or the insurance ecosystem is unqualified. What we actually know is that the IRS is generally looking to exclude businesses where the primary business value comes from selling hours, human expertise, or direct advice. But if you're creating a physical product, software, infrastructure, or providing a niche service that serves those industries, you're usually good to go. Let's stay with healthcare just as an example. If you open a medical practice where doctors see patients, diagnose illnesses, and bill for their time, you're most often going to be categorized as performing services in the field of health and typically won't be able to issue QSBS even if you meet all the other requirements. However, if you build a web app or digital platform that helps doctors manage their patient records, or if you manufacture a new medical device, you aren't selling health services, you're selling a technology product. And that would generally be qualified activity for these QSBS tests. We have a few public records or data points on the IRS commenting on trade or business categories, and in general, they've always been very progressive in interpreting these categories in a less restrictive way than you might actually think. For instance, we have record from a private letter ruling of companies that participate in the retail sale of pharmaceuticals, one that builds software to optimize medical treatments, and a more pure play medical device company, all of which the IRS maintained that the eligible business criteria were satisfied. This means that there are a whole host of businesses that meet QSBS requirements. And in fact, we estimate that more than 90% of venture-backed companies meet the qualified trade or business rules. Companies who build technology products, SaaS businesses, for instance, web apps, manufacturing, AI, computing infrastructure companies, retail, e-com, energy, logistics and transportation, CPG brands, and even certain search funds, if well documented and executed, can be QSBS eligible. The point is that every business is unique, and the lines here aren't always black and white. So make sure you do your diligence and talk to the right professionals if you believe that your business lives in some gray area. Or you may have a branch of your business that seems to be excluded from QSBS treatment. Really take the time to understand where you're at with the QSBS eligibility. If you're looking for a partner to help you navigate and execute a QSBS rollover, reach out to our team. You may be unsure whether or not a rollover is right for you, or you may be on the fence about starting another side project. Let's talk about how we support founders at every stage of their QSBS journey. You can find us at QSBSrollover.com.